You ready?
I'm Colin, this is Samir, and welcome to The Breakdown. This is the show where we break down what's happening on YouTube.
Today we're talking about the European Union's new copyright directive.
AKA the directive of the European Parliament and of the Council on Copyright in the Digital Single Market.
Copyright law.
If you're someone who makes online video like us or watches online video, which clearly you are because you clicked on this video, then it will affect you. We first heard about this when YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki sent out a pretty ominous tweet about what's called Article 13.
And how it could put creators and artists around the world at risk.
Gamers are dead, you guys are dead, I'm dead, we're all dead.
It sounded scary, but also like something that we really should know about considering we make YouTube videos all the time. So we first decided to ask our friends and see what they knew about it.
We have no idea what that is.
I genuinely don't know anything about it.
I have no idea what Article 13 is.
Something about controversial laws.
Hey Siri, what is Article 13?
I don't understand.
I don't understand either, Siri.
Where do you start with the Article 13? It's I have no idea what Article 13 is.
Yeah, so,
No one knows about this. We should know about this.
all right, let's break it down. So what is the EUCD? The EUCD is a directive that actually recently passed in the European Union. It's all part of new regulation in Europe to protect copyright holders on the internet. So we're gonna focus in on two parts of this directive that seem to have the biggest impact on what we're all doing. And that's Article 11 and Article 13. So Article 11, which is being referred to right now as the link tax. You know when you're scrolling Facebook and you see an article from a newspaper and you get the headline and you get some preview text? Basically what the directive is saying is that all the different publishers, let's say like the New York Times, they could actually charge a tax on Facebook for allowing the preview text to show in the feed.
Right now, they're losing profits because people are looking at the preview text, but they're not actually going to the New York Times site. So this is a way to sort of mitigate that and make sure that the New York Times gets what they're owed for what they created. And that's ultimately what these directives are all about, making sure that people who create art are able to protect that art and get paid what they're owed.
Now, as we get into Article 13, this all gets way more tricky.
It's a real buckle your seatbelts because it's about to get bumpy situation.
Yeah?
I don't know. I heard you say that earlier, so I
did say
reset
that
it,
earlier,
and then
but
it didn't feel
yeah,
as
but
didn't sound as
you
good.
didn't say it with the same.
Yeah, it sounded way cooler when you
same
said
pizzazz.
it. How come it sounds lame when I say it? To explain Article 13, let's look at YouTube as if it were a museum. Two artists walk into a museum and hang up their work, but one artist claims to be the original owner of this work. The artist can alert the museum curator, and if it's found out that it is in fact stolen work, just asks the artist what he or she wants to do about it. You can either take it down or leave it up and share in some of the profits.
In a post-Article 13 world, that artist, right when the other painting comes in the door, could actually sue the museum for even letting it in. The museum now is responsible for copyright infringement.
YouTube, being the museum in this analogy, would also vet what comes through its doors much more seriously in a post-Article 13 world, because the liability is now on them and not on the creators.
Basically, it would be better for YouTube to just filter any content with any sort of copywritten material so that there's not even a chance for them to be held liable.
So what does this all mean for us and you, the viewers? The nature of virality will change. Let's take the In My Feelings challenge with Drake as an example. If the record label and the rights holder for that song was actually based in the EU and didn't want that song circulated as much as it was, platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram would now have to be able to have the functionality to stop a phenomenon like that from happening. So entire internet events and things that shape culture would potentially get stopped before they even had the opportunity to begin. Now let's take a look at the link tax. If all of a sudden it costs Facebook money to share an article from the New York Times, most likely they will be sharing that article less. Wouldn't it just make sense for them to hire their own team of writers and filmmakers to put out their own content and just become the publisher in the first place? And that's what brings us to our second point, the increase in clean content and original programming.
You're already starting to see this across all platforms. Facebook is starting to release their own original shows through Facebook Watch. Instagram recently launched IGTV, and you can expect to see originals there as well. And then you have YouTube, who has YouTube Originals, YouTube Music, and YouTube TV, all of which operate on clean content that has no copyrighted material.
There's a lot of opportunity that's been given to creators to build careers because of this free and open internet where you can just share clips.
So today I'm going to talk about a director whose work I love.
There's a lot more creation happening and overall innovation in the media space.
Hadouken to your face.
But most likely, this won't last. The trend will be towards cleaner content. And they're already preparing for this scenario. That's part of the reason why they're going into originals and why you see them offering creators free music that's copyright free. I wouldn't be surprised if they started offering different clips for us to use as well. They are preparing for a situation where everything has to be clean.
Bottom line, this is going to change the type of content that's going to be allowed to be uploaded to these platforms, and it's going to inhibit the creativity of the artists who upload. For some creators, this wouldn't be that difficult. They really just either vlog or sit in front of their computer and talk, and they're not reliant on clips or copyrighted materials. But for other creators who have channels that are focused on commentary or pulling clips from the internet, that would be much more challenging.
And we have a specific example for you. About 4 years ago, we made a video at YouTube Space here in Los Angeles.
I know you wanna leave me.
And because we made the video under their roof, they had liability for what was in that video. We needed to sign off and say that we had the rights to the people who were in it, the logos that were on our shirts, and the music that we used. That video got sent to their legal department, and I don't know if they liked it. It was a weird video. Those were different times.
But I refuse to let you go.
But they shut the video down and didn't let us put it out. There's also a video of Colin dancing to One Direction. That probably would have got shut down too.
But that's a great video. I have no problem with that video.
Basically what we're saying is that when YouTube is held responsible for the content, they're gonna make a push for way cleaner content so that they have no risk when the content gets uploaded.
I hope this isn't the end of memes.
No, God!
Imagine if you couldn't use that meme.
No, God, please, no! That would be the end for me. I probably would stop watching YouTube. No!
The internet is still very young and in its infancy stages. There's a gap between the laws that are in place to regulate the internet and just the social norms, the way that we expect to use it. We've all grown accustomed to this idea that on the internet, ownership is muddled, that you can take people's footage or music and put it into your own work without any real repercussion.
YouTube was built by disrupting the media industry. And whenever something disrupts the whole industry, if it gets adopted by a mass amount of people, then we start to see regulation. And now there has to be some sort of regulation put around YouTube and other platforms that are allowing users to upload whatever videos they want. All right, that was a lot of information in this episode of The Breakdown and a lot of information that we didn't know about a week ago. So we want to bring something new in this week. It's called Breakdown Fact Check. You can hashtag Breakdown Fact Check in the comments if there's anything that we got wrong, that you think we should add to this episode, or any other information that you think would be good for our community to know. And thanks to all of our friends for submitting clips for this video. That was really cool and really fun.
That was nice.
All right, see you next time on The Breakdown.
I just spilled my LaCroix.